Obscure are the origins of the Bretti. Neither Greek, nor Samnite, nor Lucan. Rather, a mixture of Italic and Enetrian peoples. Ancient authors described the Bretti as coarse and ferocious plunderers, devoid of pity and military ethics, turbulent and unable to respect treaties. Some wrote that the Bretti were originally shepherd slaves of the Lucans, who then rebelled, becoming bandits and finally warriors, skilled and well organized enough to conquer Greek colonies and Italic towns. Others say that the Bretti were born from a gang of 50 young Lucans who, tired of the tough Spartan education to which they were subjected, began to raid, conquering their first city with the help of a woman named Bruzia. In any case, all agree upon one fact: the Bretti were an enemy to be avoided in every way. A tenacious people who first rebelled against the colonization of the Greeks and then tried to oppose the advance of the Romans. Every so often, brief alliances were formed. These warriors were in fact feared by all, and their skill with weapons proved convenient to many. And finally, after nearly 2 centuries of prosperity, all traces of the Bretti were lost, scattered in the meanderings of Roman expansion.
Brete is the name of an Italic people whose history, although brief, represents the history of all Calabria. Between the Bronze Age and the Iron Age, this region was inhabited by the Enotrians and the Auzones. Then, at the end of the 8th century BC, the Achaean settlers arrived from Greece. They founded new colonies, including that of Sybaris. Later on, the Lucans moved from Samnium to Calabria, entering into conflict with the Greeks and enslaving the local Italic peoples, eventually leading to a slave revolt, banditry, and the subsequent birth of an independent confederation with a new capital, Cosenza, and its own coinage of gold, silver, and bronze in imitation of the Greeks. Subsequently, the Bretti, organized into autonomous cantons controlled by hilltop towns, expanded, gathering in arms against the Italiotic cities which they stormed and looted. In respect to their origins, the Bretti were bilingual. They spoke Greek and Oscan, an Italic language. And when they were not engaged in wars and raids, they were dedicated to agriculture, textile production, and especially to pastoralism, at one time their primary occupation. But the most famous of their traditional products, appreciated at the time even in Athens, was undoubtedly Brettian pitch, produced in the forests of the Sela Mountains range and used to seal jars and for waterproofing. Although on one hand, clashes with the Italiotic settlers were fierce, on the other, the influence of the refined Greek culture on Brettian society is evident. The majority of the few vases, ornaments and weapons found in archaeological excavations is in fact of Greek or Magnio, Grecian manufacture. However, scant material evidence of the Bretti exists today, as few sites have been excavated by archaeologists. Among these, the town, now known as Castiglione de Paludi, was of some importance. Castiglione is on top of a flat hill, 8 kilometers from the sea, with a total surface of 40 hectares. The town is well defended by steep cliffs on almost all sides. Although the ancient ruins of Castiglione have been known since the 19th century, only in 1949 were regular archaeological excavations begun. These first campaigns lasted until 1956, and among other elements, they revealed a votive deposit in front of the monumental Eastern Gate. In those years, in the nearby Piano Agreto, research revealed a necropolis of pit graves covered with stone mounds. The funerary areas could be linked to the Enotrians, the community which had inhabited the area prior to the Bretti. Later, systematic excavations at Castiglione unearthed the northern town district with a small area near the eastern gate. Research also confirmed the presence of buildings on the southern plateau, which has still not been sufficiently explored. To defend the city's few weak spots, the Bretti built strong city walls with square blocks of local stone, equipping them with towers and with a monumental entrance on the eastern side. The settlement's so-called theatre is also famous, mostly dug into the rocky slope and probably used for both public meetings and performances. The large space in front of the theatre is generally interpreted as a public square, the agora of Greek cities, surrounded by public and sacred buildings, where trade, commerce and markets were held. The city's houses, generally organised in blocks and probably inserted into a regular grid of primary and secondary roads, generally had a rectangular plan and were in some cases divided into several rooms around a courtyard. In Castiglione, we can still easily recognise the main north-south route, a section of which was reinforced with a strong wall of stone blocks which has been perfectly preserved.
As a matter of fact, then, you still know very little about us, the Bretti. Not even the ancient name of this city is known to you, nor even a single one of our names, the names of those Bretti who built and defended it. I remember that day. The empty streets, the streets deserted. We were all gathered in the theatre. Friends, a threat looms over the city. There will be difficult days ahead for all of us. We will have to defend ourselves for as long as it takes. And we have to organize ourselves as best we can. Behold, the enemy is at the gate. Children, come into the house. It will soon be raining down fire and arrows. Brothers, we've been preparing for some time. Now that time has come, and everyone has to do his part, starting with you. I count on you. Day and night, be on guard, or else. Check each part of the walls and all the gates. Here they are then. But we will resist. We will resist. The wait is over. Now, it's time to fight.